Shalom. I trust all is well with you. I wanted to do a brief follow-up to my video about Paul Pierce inaccurately stating that marriage is for poor people, and also the many comments from immature men stating that this generation doesn't have women worth marrying. Recently, I was made aware that according to a U.S. Trust report titled Insights on Wealth and Worth, that 86% of millionaires are married and that 65% of those millionaires are still in their first marriage. So let me ask you something, especially the younger men. What are these married millionaires understanding about marriage that the deficit-minded single male isn't? This question actually reminds me of a recent conversation I had with someone who was truly living the answer. I had lunch with a very successful multi-millionaire entrepreneur. And as we were talking, I shared with him this ideology that marriage is for poor people. He leaned back in his chair, chuckled, and said, "Well, what the hell am I working so hard for if I can't get married, have a family to love, and raise children to carry on the businesses I've built, to keep, the family legacy alive?" The U.S. Trust report and this multi-millionaire statement not only shatters the lie that marriage is for poor people, but also that no millionaire builds an empire just for it to die within his hands. Clearly, marriage isn't a liability, especially when it's entered into with wisdom, due diligence, and maturity. Marriage is an asset. It is a multiplier of power. It's structure. It's the foundation for family, lineage, legacy, and generational wealth. But most importantly to me, it's a covenant with the Most High Yah. I also want to touch on a younger man's deficit-minded comment about marriage. He had said that my generation didn't have social media, which has radically changed dating and society as a whole. Yeah, he's right. My generation didn't have social media, but we did have the crack epidemic. We had the prison industrial complex. We had AIDS. We had the unprecedented rise of fatherless homes. We had gang violence, no mental health awareness, and the birth of a style of hip hop that glorified violence, drugs, malt liquor, promoted promiscuity, and degraded women. This generation can turn off social media, but my generation couldn't turn off life. The bottom line is this: every generation has distractions, but it's not the distractions that destroy men. It's a lack of discipline that does. So if social media is your struggle, be masculine, be strong, and get off social media. Younger men, it's time, and men, it's time for you to enact the masculine attributes that you so proudly proclaim. The fortitude and boldness to push through. Use that to push through the emotions that keep you in fear of following your heart and fighting for the relationship you deeply desire. Stop letting other men's failures create fear in you. Instead, let their failures remind you to stay focused. Let their failures to make you pursue wisdom. Let their failures crush your ego. Let their failures make you seek therapy to heal your trauma and resolve your anger. Let their failures make you unselfish. Let their failures make you develop sexual self-control. Let their failures remind you that the covenant isn't for the weak, it's for the committed. So how do you shift from a deficit mindset about marriage to an asset-framed one that's positive and see the benefits of marriage? First, it starts by you confronting the lies you've inherited, replacing them with truth so that Yah can renew your mind. Refine or redefine marriage as a mission. That should be step number one, not a risk. Stop seeing marriage as something that traps you or entangles you. When you become one flesh rather, with the right woman, marriage doesn't confine you, it refines you. Always remember, men and younger men, legacy isn't built on isolation. I think it's George C. Fraser, where is it at? He once said that there is no culture in history of humankind that has risen to maximize its full human potential without family at its center of its culture. And today, many modern cultures are drifting away from that truth, treating family as optional and marriage as archaic. And that's why it's not just about who you marry, it's also about who's mentoring you, which brings me to the second action step. Audit or check or observe the voices discipling you. If the men teaching you about relationships are stuck in perpetual adolescence, you will stay stranded and suffer in silence with them. Cut off content that feeds your fear and your ego and seek men who have fruit, not just followers. And lastly, action step number 3, prepare to be what you're looking for. You want a faithful, purposeful, legacy-minded, godly, and virtuous woman? Then put in the introspective work to become the kind of man she's praying for, a comprehensive man of the Most High. And stop stop allowing the struggle associated with finding her discourage you. Again, we brag about being masculine, but when it's time to be masculine, we're not. So instead of being discouraged, be masculine and fight every emotion that keeps you discouraged and deficit-minded about marriage. Remember, you don't need every woman to be marriage material. You just need one. My brothers, this message isn't to shame you. It's to change you and to charge you. Because the man who builds legacy doesn't blame the era he lives in. He transforms it. He doesn't run from covenant. He commits to it. Again, marriage isn't a poverty move. It's a purpose move. And if 86% of millionaires understand that, maybe it's time you do too. In closing, if you're still doubting the value of covenant, remember Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from Adonai. This scripture makes it clear that marriage is a blessing, not a burden. It says that finding a wife is a good thing, which counters the deficit-minded or the deficit mindset about marriage. And lastly, this scripture, it establishes marriage as a source of Yah's divine favor, which when you're in covenant with the right woman, brings help, support, family, and foundation for generational righteousness, wealth, and legacy. Men, I pray this video was an encouragement to you. If you would like to be notified when I upload another one, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, my brothers, keep growing, keep building, and keep striving to be the man the moment demands. Shalom.